as ever.
I put deep heat on his balls and totally forgot that I put deep heat on his balls. Deep heat's flammable. I went to zap his balls and the balls went on fire. And I was like, and he was like, holy shit. And then I just blew them out like a birthday candle. I was like,
Should we start this thing then?
yeah, go on then.
What happened then? So you set somebody on fire, you said?
Okay, tell you, I said
You came into the house clapping like a sea lion.
I did. I was really pleased with myself. I'm always like, you should be safe, you should be consensual. My slave is a real masochist and he loves how creative I am. And we're always trying to do crazy, crazy shit. And I'm like, he's like, as long as you don't scar me for life, it's fine. I mean, he's an older gentleman. So,
How much older? Like older?
He is 67.
Well, so not much older.
Yeah.
I get straight in with that.
I know every single podcast you just call me old now. You're making me paranoid. I'm gonna come in with like a facelift, like.
I kept when I went through the edit thing, it was just lots of me saying you're old, me adjusting my testicles, and you talking directly to camera.
I'm gonna
That's
try
what was happening the whole way through that episode.
I'm gonna pretend it's not there today.
But to be fair, we were just like trying it out. It wasn't meant to be like put out there.
No.
But it was good enough. I thought, fuck it.
Look at you going off on a tangent now.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I've got this client. I've been seeing him for about 3 years. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Part French. I don't know if that makes any difference to the
Part
story.
French?
Bit of him.
It's got a little bit. He's a
Which bit?
Pinez. No, stop with the accents. I've got to stop. No, I
Le
can't.
baguette.
He's la baguette. He's
Le baguette
onions.
grande or le baguette petite?
It was le petit.
Little croissant. Little croissant
Le
dick.
Petit
Right.
Prince. So his little croissant. And he's just hilarious. And he lets me tie him up. He lets me do weird, crazy shit, like electrocute him. So I've got this thing where I always use him for target practice because he can take it. So I always like put pegs on his dick and I whip him off. And we just come
with
up
your,
with different games. And
Your
he's got
long
his-
whip.
Yeah, and he's got his balls being stretched. And he's just a really good person to practice on because he will take it. And we just have a laugh with it. Like,
Is that the video you showed me the other day?
yeah, where he's strapped down and I'm just...
I wonder if I
Whip.
could put that video in the podcast.
I don't think you can. I don't think it's allowed. His sack was bleeding.
It'd
at
be
the end of
allowed
it.
like on a
Like an
uncut
OnlyFans or
thing,
something.
huh?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah, if you want.
We're going to put it right here between us.
I mean, it's
We're going to
not
put
pretty.
a video of MP whipping... What are you whipping? Pegs off a dick.
Off his testicles. Not his dick, his testicles. And so my aim was pretty good, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
It was good. His sack was bleeding.
It'd have to be good if you had a tiny croissant dick.
Well, no, you
So
just...
it makes the balls more... Like, if the dick's not taking up a lot of space.
It makes the balls easier to hit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's true.
before his balls were bleeding and all of that, I've got this kettle prod that I love using, the one that I've talked about before.
Yeah.
And
Love as ever.
I put deep heat on his balls and totally forgot that I put deep heat on his balls. Deep heat's flammable. I went to zap his balls and the balls went on fire. And I was like, and he was like, holy shit. And then I just blew them out like a birthday candle. I was like, and all his little ball hairs were singed. I mean, his
Oh my
balls were
God.
fine. He didn't feel a thing. He was like, bloody hell. And yeah, and so his testicles were fucking flaming. They weren't just like a light fire. They were like,
Did it smell like a little French patisserie in there?
it did. Not a very nice one. It was like singed hair, but obviously his skin wasn't singed or anything. They were blew out like immediately. But even for a second, I was like,
man.
because they were all tied up and all bulbous and round, and it just went.
Did you not cry? I
Sounds
bet it's like...
amazing.
So it's like a
You know, like when you
deodorant and a lighter.
yeah, or like when you with the oven when you tick 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 poof, like that when you
Oh,
light
when
the
you've been
oven.
ticking for too long, yeah.
Yeah, with the oven, and it goes poof, and it just
Oh,
his whole
wow.
balls just went. Wah!
It's impressive.
Yeah, it was.
Still come?
Yeah, of course.
Of course it did. Intro.
They always do.
Welcome, ladies and perverts, to the My Wife is a Dominatrix podcast. Coming to you from a dimly lit dungeon somewhere in the UK with your hosts,
So today we are joined in the studio by a very good friend of ours called the Sixtress.
Just Sixtress.
The Sixtress from the internet.
Now.
The
She's
definite article.
she decided to remain off cam because her titties are too big for the internet. Apparently,
They are, and you know she wants her.
that's my first question.
What?
What size are they? No, I already know the answer because I've looked at your what's that website called?
Fat Life?
FetLife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're currently a 36J.
What do you mean currently?
Well, tits change.
Yeah.
Like with the weather?
Yes, specifically with the weather when it's
So when it's
wet.
damp.
She knows when it's about to rain.
My breasts
Because
can
just
tell
the
you
left
it's
one
already
gets bigger.
raining.
Mean girls.
The left one gets bigger when it rains.
I think- specifically, I think
Okay.
why I was so excited to come on here was for Dan to ask me a question that wasn't about my tits. But no luck so far. We'll see. We'll
What
see.
was the first question I asked you when you walked into the house?
How are your tits?
Very tit-orientated
And they're
man.
still good.
Just a touch.
I like them.
But he's in a good room for it. So
I know.
you
Well, yeah. I mean, mine
so
are
lucky
away.
boy.
Mine are away. So
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
we know they're there.
They're
Yeah.
there. They're hiding. They're lurking underneath.
A creature in the dark.
Just pop out with no warning.
So this Strict says, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from.
Oh, I've a bit of all over. London. and then-
London, yeah.
London, bit of Surrey, bit of Berkshire.
Okay.
And then Dorset.
And now you're in Dorset.
I'm in Dorset right now.
How long have you been in the Dorset?
I've wanted to move down here for quite a long time, and then pulled the trigger out just around the pandemic. So
Okay.
2020.
That is mental. Do you know, in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, it was 5 years ago that COVID started.
5 years ago. No, it's
5
not.
years ago.
No,
5 years ago. In 2 weeks' time, it was announced 5 years ago.
Really?
not in England. Like the lockdown wasn't 5 years ago. That was in March 2020.
Have a look.
Is it really?
Have a look. It's mental.
It might have started in like the whispers of,
It was end of September 5 years ago.
but
Oh,
it wasn't
God.
the big. It wasn't a pandemic at that point.
It was just some
I
bats
don't know if
might
it was
be
a
biting
pandemic.
people.
You think what?
It was just bats with the coronavirus biting people.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that
Like,
maybe?
the fact that it started in a year with a zero makes it quite easy to count generally.
Okay.
Like how many years it's
You're going to
been
look
since?
silly when you Google it now.
I'm not saying that it wasn't around in the around the planet at times, but it wasn't
Oh, it's been
considered
around
a
on the
pandemic.
planet for a long, long time.
Yeah, but it wasn't considered a
Long
pandemic in September 19.
Mum and Dad are fighting.
time. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't know if they
Am I
announced
mum
it
now?
as a.
You are.
I
When
don't know
did
if
that
they
happen?
announced it as a pandemic.
I'm
5
only
years
a
ago.
few years older than you. That's
Shut
awful.
I don't know if they announced it as a pandemic 5 years ago. But
No, like
Yeah. It
lockdown
was-
was the end of March 2020.
Yeah, but there were the inklings, weren't there? I remember all over Christmas and stuff like this might be the last Christmas you can, things are happening, things are changing. Because I was working in the care industry at that
Yeah.
point because I was only part-time domming, and I was like, shit. And because obviously in care you had to really scrub up, have vaccines, wear the masks, wear
tick all the
gloves.
boxes.
Yeah, had to tickle the boxes.
I
I'll
thought you
tick
said
them.
tickle the boxes as
Tick,
well.
yeah, tick all
Tickle-
of the
tickle-
boxes.
Those
tickle
boxes
the
tickled.
boxes.
Don't tickle boxes
One of my
whilst in
friends had a
care.
good old tickle
Not in
session the other
care.
day. Love a good
Do
tickle
you?
session.
Do you know what? I did a tickle session the other day,
Love it.
actually. And he's always come to me to tickle me. But
Okay.
I've managed to condition him now into liking tickling. So we spent the whole hour just tickling him, and he was really enjoying it. And he was like, in my wildest dreams, I never imagined that I would be the ticklee as opposed to the tickler.
Was this the Italian?
Wait, hang
No,
on.
it's a different guy.
You tickled him or he tickled you?
So I tickled him.
So you were the tickler.
I was the tickler, and he
Yes.
was the ticklee.
The lee.
The
yeah.
ticklee.
The lees and the lurs in the tickle realm. That's generally what they would call themselves.
Ticklees and ticklers.
The lees and the
You
lurs.
spent
But
an hour tickling somebody.
loved. I could
Yeah.
spend more than that. Oh,
I
love
spent
tickling.
3 hours.
Really?
Yeah,
Tickling this way, like me being the ticklee, is a hard limit for me.
Oh, yeah, no,
but
I
I
don't like
bloody love tickling someone.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
literally like tickle, tickle, tickle.
Yeah, but
For an
With the
hour?
noise, saying saying tickle tickle. Yeah.
That's it.
How do you
kind
tickle without making the noise? It's just scratching someone.
No, you're sort of laughing because they're laughing, and then they make you laugh.
Yeah.
And then you'll
Okay,
tie
well,
them.
And then you
Next
get
time
this
you
evil
tickle
laugh
them.
because you're like, oh, I can make this worse.
Yeah,
Or
and
I
you're
found
like-
all your spots.
and then you
No,
get like a
I don't get
toothbrush,
you.
and you can tickle them.
Next
between
time you
their
tickle
toes.
them,
Yeah,
do it with your fingers, but don't make any noise.
I do
Just
sometimes.
stare.
Just stare at them and do it.
That's terrifying.
See what I mean? You have to make the noise, or it's weird.
No, I don't.
If
I
If
you
just
are
sort of
going
talking
tickle,
to
tickle,
them.
tickle.
You're like, oh, is and then you make fun of them for their reactions.
yeah.
and-
Oh, if it's like, you sometimes have music on, and if they're tied up and it's all very sensual, and you start just tickling them, you're not going to be like, ooh, a tickle, tickle. You're going to be like, you're stroking their body.
That
'cause-
would be even
Maybe
better.
it's special for Halloween though.
Yeah.
That'd be really cute if you put them in some like little velvety cuffs,
Yeah.
lit some candles,
Is it your kink now?
put like the Evita soundtrack on, and then went tickle, tickle, tickle.
It's like that. Just tickle their testicles under duress.
That'd be really funny, wouldn't it?
For you, perhaps, not for
Yeah,
them.
but
I don't know if
I
would-
forget that
Sometimes
you
the
do
goal
it.
isn't funny.
Yeah, I forget you're not doing it for like a laugh.
No, I mean we do a lot of fun things, but generally the goal is a little
Yeah.
bit more than
Fuckery.
just fun. Yeah, it's fuckery.
That is something I say to you a lot. You'll come home and explain what you've just been up to, and I go, well, that doesn't sound like fun. And
I'm
she's like, I don't do it for the fun. I said, oh yeah, forget.
Yeah.
But also, it not sounding like fun to you. You know, it's other people's idea of a very, fun that
Very
they're
good
happy to
time.
pay good
I
money
don't
for.
care about their
Like,
ideas.
I'm extremely ticklish. So
Just worried about mine at that
Anything or
time.
anyone else. Yeah.
I'm extremely ticklish. So like for me, I will laugh and I'm like, oh, and there comes a point where I'm like, no, like it's just horrible because I can't get away. You're just like, oh, but
It's making me want to tickle you
yeah,
now.
don't you dare. But the other way round, I just genuinely love it because you stroking their armpits, you're getting them all behind the knees.
That little bit in the cum gutters.
Yeah, the cum gutters.
Yeah,
the
the
cum
V.
gutters are always really ticklish. And like right by the sack as well, between the sack and the bumhole, the gooch bit. That's always quite
Perineum.
yeah, a little bit of perineum tickling.
Bit of inner thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the side of
I
the
was
ribs.
like, what?
Are you not ticklish then?
Not particularly.
No, he's not. He is sometimes if he's like half asleep and I'm tickling.
Can't put
He
those videos up now.
No, you can't be banned. We're not allowed to put sleeping videos up anymore. So don't start any of your videos.
Oh yeah,
in
you were
bed.
talking about this earlier. What the fuck is going on? So you can't.
Because if someone's asleep and
This
they're
is
not
videos
consenting-
that are posted on OnlyFans and
Internet,
Pornhub and
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's been that case of that lady who was drugged and raped by like 76 men, and it's
how
all
long
gone
was she asleep
publicly.
for?
She was drugged.
Oh, right.
That was in the beginning of the
Actually
sentence.
So surely then
Yeah.
you just ban drug type porn. Why sleeping porn? I don't get
Because
it. I'm
she
confused.
was asleep, and they're just trying to make out like they're doing something. Like, oh, porn is the reason that all these men did it. It's not
Oh,
because
right.
they're just bad men. They're doing
right, they're
it
just being
because-
seen to do something regardless.
Yeah,
Because essentially, like, even in a long-term relationship, technically in terms of consent,
Hmm.
unless before you go to sleep one night, you're explicit, like which is genuinely something I used to do in a relationship, is like, is it all right to wake you up for sex? We're like, yes, or I've got a really early morning,
Yeah.
and crazy man. And then it'd be like, is it all right to start with you asleep, or do I need to like wake you up first? And usually he'd be fine with it, but it's explicit consent.
Right.
So videos, obviously, you're not showing the chatting before, being like, cool, so I'm going to fall asleep. When I'm asleep, that's when I want you to do it.
Surely everyone knows that porn's a puppet, though, right?
Unfortunately, they don't.
They're not
But they
watching
don't.
porn and
Not
going,
everyone
that's real life, that.
people are really, really silly. Like one of our friends, I shit you not, she thought
One of our
that-
friends?
Yeah.
Our friends?
Our friends.
Okay.
We were having a conversation about porn and the stepmom, stepson porn and family porn.
Oh, yes, one
She
of our friends did, yeah.
actually thought it was real.
That's
and
the
I
problem.
was
A lot
like,
of people do.
what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And she was like, but how did they get the actors and get them to
That was
have-"
the
I was
conversation,
like,
wasn't it?
Mind blown. It was, and we were just,
That was the bit she found confusing, is that she couldn't understand how
There's so
the
many
porn industry was
stepmoms and
finding
stepsons.
so many stepsons and stepmoms that were willing to fuck on
It's
camera.
the end of the nuclear family.
She's like, where do they get them all from? It's like America.
Well, that's the point.
No
I did
offense.
actually, but I think the proliferation of videos like that
yeah.
do kind of a little bit warp some people who don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually did get a message from someone who was looking for someone who was fine with brothers.
Okay.
And I was like, with you both on like all the attention towards the woman,
Yeah.
or with it, and he was
With
like,
each other.
no, a bi threesome.
Wait a minute.
Oh, so you want me
Wait
to
a
be there
minute.
while you suck your
Explain that
brother?
whole thing.
No, thank you. No,
What?
no.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing with men and twins.
I didn't get that at all.
Okay, so some people, anything to do with family, completely off limits in any way, shape, or form.
Most people,
right?
yeah.
Most people, but a lot of guys might be into like twins, right? Female twins, right? For a
Yeah.
long time, it was a thing. But those are autonomous human beings who are actually related.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing for some guys to be like, oh, I'm going to fuck both of you, and you're going to be there, and you're going to be there, and I'm going to fuck you, then you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing. But the idea of people being incestuous with each other as well is a bridge too far. Yeah, for me, for sure.
Yeah.
For most people, again,
and,
yeah.
and so
Except
this,
Americans.
well, some Americans,
Most
half
of our-
American here.
Some of our audience are American. Can we
Most
just...
of them are. That's why I say it.
I'm half American.
Just the sexy bit.
So this dude was messaging me like, well, how do you feel about brothers? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, well, with a threesome. And I was like, well, are you taught? I wasn't. This isn't something I'm positive with a stranger anyway, which
Yeah.
he was messaging me. But he's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, well, just out of interest, I'm asking him, well, are you just both interacting with the woman that you're with, but
Yeah,
not
so
with each
separate
other?
entities almost, like you're not touching dicks.
I thought you were going to say
balls and
separate
dicks.
ends for a sec.
Well, one in the mouth, one in the back.
Right, or wherever.
Yeah.
But
as long
yeah,
as the wangs aren't touching
the
each
wangs
other.
aren't touching and neither are their
You can't,
faces.
yeah, can't cross swords.
Right, and he was like, no, explicitly a bi threesome, meaning that everyone is with everyone.
Yeah.
So so they're looking for a woman to join them, and they're already fucking.
They're
basically.
brothers.
They're
fucking
brothers.
each
So the
other.
brothers are banging each other,
Yeah.
and they
Basically.
also want you to get involved.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I mean-
no. I mean, as I say, someone just randomly messaging me with a proposition with no preamble or no conversation is
Yeah.
never going to be a yes from me anyway.
No.
But occasionally I'm intrigued and I ask
That's why you
questions.
keep saying no to me.
How's your tits? Fancy a fuck?
It's lovely. That was my line. That's-
How many
Right,
years
I have to
later?
ask other questions. There's other questions.
There are other questions.
I asked if you wanted a tea.
You did. Oh, so thoughtful. Oh my god.
I know,
When a
he's
man
the
does
best.
things for you, like make you a tea and then complain about the tea you chose.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Everyone always says like, "You're such a weird couple," and I'm like, "I know."
I don't know that we're weird.
He's such a weird cunt.
Such a weird. We can't say that word, can we?
What?
We can say whatever
Sorry.
we like.
Sorry.
We can say anything.
I didn't
we
know
like.
you said.
You said the C word.
Oh, not on our podcast.
Oh,
Surely not.
Did. You can say cunt. It's fine.
You say maybe like, yeah, nobody can cancel us from anything yet.
I thought you were going to say.
So we're not going to get cancelled until in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, first you got to get.
Because at the minute
massive.
now, we're fine. We can just say what the fuck we want. But in like, say 5 years' time,
Getting
when the thing's
sponsored by
podcast-
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disney Plus. Could you imagine?
yeah. When Disney are involved, I've got to stop
Use
older.
code pegging for 10% off when you sign up to Disney Plus.
Where's some Minnie Mouses,
Well, saying
please?
that, wasn't the boys on it or something?
The boys.
Oh no, the boys is on Amazon, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I was going to say that is not on Disney. Although, do you know
some
what? On
adult stuff.
Disney, they had American Horror Story.
There you go.
And that is dark. You've got a gimp running
Yeah.
around a house stabbing people. They did the male gimp and the female gimp.
Equal opportunity gimping.
Exactly.
Maybe we could get sponsored by Disney. That'd be handy.
Yes, if you need any gimps, I've got a cupboard full. It's behind
Couple of
Daniel.
Gimps, yeah.
Cupboard full of gimps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do
So
that.
yeah. So essentially, long and short, yeah, you can say what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't fuck brothers.
Don't fuck brothers.
Don't fuck brothers.
But
That
it's a
seems
real
odd.
thing though. Like the twin thing is a real thing because men will date the same set of twins, like identical twins, and they have sex with them both. And the girls are like, "Yeah, we all do it together."
There's a
and I'm like,
chap in America
fucking
that's married
sister.
to twins.
Yeah,
That's on some documentary thing on TV.
yeah. Not the
Isn't there?
conjoined
There's
twins.
some documentary somewhere about something.
Yeah.
About an American guy being married to twins,
Yeah, but he's-
sister wives.
Oh,
But they've got
really?
separate, they've got separate bodies. But then you've got the conjoined twins argument as well. Like everyone's always like, if
Yeah, but you
I
can't
have-
just bang one conjoined twin.
no, you don't.
You can't have locked in for a 2-for-1 deal there. There's not
You
really
really
much to do
are.
about it.
Rarely conjoined at the vagina.
Well,
Where else do they conjoin?
Usually like a vital organ, and that's why, well,
Yeah.
a differently vital
but
organ.
you would have the same sensation if you've got the same. Would you? I don't know
No,
how
it
that
depends
works.
where, because if they're like somewhere at the sternum or the hip, then
Yeah.
they're not necessarily. They don't have the same nervous system. They have
Does
independent
anybody
nervous
listening know a conjoined twin? I need to speak to them. I have some questions.
system. About sex.
That could be our fourth guest.
Well, I mean, conjoined twins deserve to do kink
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
So, like, that would be imagine rope tying
There's-
conjoined twins.
Okay, I've not. Okay. Yeah, I'm imagining it.
That would be
I
strange.
was going to say there's a phenomenal UK rigger who has a severe disability, and they're amazing.
What is a UK rigger?
Well, UK is a country in which you live.
Is it? UK is a country.
United Kingdom.
It's not a country, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're right. It's a kingdom, yeah, a collection of countries. Fair. I'll give you that one. A rigger is what you'd call the person who does the rope to someone else. Usually, there's lots of different words for it.
Does the
I typically
It's the
identify it as a
tie-uppy-er.
rigger. Does the
The
tie
tie-upper.
up? Yeah.
So before we get into this,
Sorry.
explain what it is that you mainly do, because you are a different kettle of fish from me as a dom, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we
Very
started the
different
intro
fishes.
earlier when I said, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" And then we got to Dorset, and then we went off about conjoined twins for 20
Twins.
minutes
I know.
And steps.
I
and
know.
rapey Americans.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Right. So before we do any of that, because then it will make sense what a rigger and stuff and why this is important. Look at me trying to rein us in for once.
Ooh.
I love this. I'm being
All
sensible.
you needed was me to be
Exactly.
you the
I
sensible
know,
one.
now you're the one. Brilliant.
So you now live in Dorset.
So
Cut the rest of it out.
there. So Sixtress, what is it you do? Why are you different from me? Explain the lot. Go.
I do many things. One of the things that I do is rope. I absolutely love rope. It's so creative and interesting and tactile and mentally challenging.
And you're also a dominatrix.
I'm also a dom. Yeah.
I mean,
Just
let's start with that.
just a bit right away. Yeah, so predominantly identify as a dom, and everything else that I'm into falls within that, basically.
Yeah.
So with rope, there's many things I enjoy about it, but at the end of the day, it's a power exchange because someone is choosing to give up the ability to move parts of their body or get away, which is hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I love rope. I love many forms of power exchange. I love being a bit mean. It depends on the scenario, but generally I find if the other person's particularly into something and it involves power exchange, I can become into the thing.
Yeah,
it's very rare that there's a specific act or kink that I'm like, oh no, no matter what. And there are a few, of course there are, but mostly it's if there's power exchange, I'm into it.
Okay, and so how did you get into this? Like, when did you start? How did you get into the scene? Like, what was your entry into it? Because you are a lifestyle dom who wants to become a pro dom, whereas I'm a pro dom and I don't do lifestyle. Well, I imagine
well, not with this one.
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
I don't know what's going on right now.
That's okay.
I don't know what any of these words mean. Nobody else will understand what these words mean. That is not a kinkster.
We'll talk about them. So, how did I start? I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna explain, because if you just hear the soundbite, it sounds not right. I was very, very young. The way I'll put this is,
you're young now. You're 26.
Oh, I love you. All right, we can bang.
Easy.
How is it she's really young and I'm super old? What the fuck? And I'm the one banging you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like obvious. No, I'm older than her.
I've not banged that one yet.
That one.
That one.
Fuck you.
I know. Dickhead.
Except not.
Right,
So,
you were very young.
how did I get into
Context.
it? I think a lot of people's kinks, they originate very young. They'll see someone I know literally remembers, maybe being before he was even 10.
Yeah.
You see one of those old school spaghetti westerns and someone getting tied down to the tracks and they're like, oh, I like this. And I can't quite pinpoint exactly how. And I think a lot of
he's
people...
going to get run over.
No, the idea of the bondage or the giving up of the control thing.
Oh.
And the same way as like before you were a sexual teenager, you would have seen someone, pop star or whatever, and you're like, oh, I like them, but you can't identify what it is you're feeling. And it's like a precursor to attraction.
Yeah.
Because you're not old enough to feel attraction yet.
Gotcha.
I was into power exchange all the way back then.
Yeah.
I always have been.
Really?
Yeah. But I didn't know it was that at the time. Yeah. You just know there's certain things that you're drawn towards.
Yeah.
So I very much got into that along with my sexual maturity, like as I was in my teens and exploring stuff, like even just with boyfriends at the time, but like involving having to go to Camden to get some handcuffs because that was the only place you could buy them back then.
Oh, crikey.
So full on trip to Camden so I could get some handcuffs.
Were they shitty handcuffs?
They're so shitty.
They're like,
so
the little
shitty.
fluff on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I put my own fluff on them because I wanted fluff.
I love that.
But so I got some shitty handcuffs and then made my own fluffy cuffs. But yeah, or playing power-based games with someone. And this was before I was exposed to any bondage or BDSM-based porn. So it was all just coming from within.
So the argument when people say, "Oh, it's porn," it's not.
Gives you ideas, but if you're into it or you're not.
Because I was the same. When I was 4, my mum found me in bed with a boy that used to come for sleepovers, Christopher, sorry. And I used to dress him up and boss him around and he would do stuff. And obviously at that, I'm 4.
Yeah.
And my mum would come in and she'd be like, "Why is Christopher all dressed up in your dresses?" And I'd be like,
It's fun.
I don't know what happened there.
And then I'd make him drink out of like a dog bowl and
Amazing.
stuff like that, and weird shit. And I wasn't exposed to porn or anything like that.
No.
The internet wasn't a fucking thing. It wasn't.
And so people assume that if you're in any way into anything as a kid, that something's happened to you, and that's not the case for me. I can't speak for anyone else, but it's certainly not the case for me.
Yeah.
I just think as a kid, there's no shame.
Yeah.
And often there's not sex in any way at all. As a kid for me, certainly
There's
not.
an innocence, isn't
There's
there?
an innocence, and there's a great song about that. But yeah, that like it's just exploring and doing what feels fun. And as kids, if someone doesn't want to do something, they generally don't unless they're a massive people pleaser already at 6. But so you play and
doctors and nurses, cats and dogs. You used
Kiss
to do
Chase,
role plays, like...
Red Rover, like just stuff about like going for doing a thing that you want to do, and if someone doesn't want to do, I don't want to play anymore, and then you don't play anymore and you do something else. Doesn't work now. They have to say red now. Oh, you don't want to play anymore? Oh,
That's a shame.
poor you. Oh, it's going to suck. Except no sucking. So I've been into it forever.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I discovered it more as I got a bit older, and as literally like as Channel 5 came out, because they had very, very softcore porn on Channel 5. So there was occasionally, because I'm pre-internet, so there was occasionally something that was like more BDSM-y, and I'd always be like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then as I could explore more, and the internet started to have more.
Did you like Eurotrash?
Of course I liked Eurotrash. There were tits on Eurotrash.
I know,
I was like, ooh,
and
tits.
dicks.
It was the occasional
And
dick. The dicks were not as nice as the tits.
No.
You occasionally had a
always
flaccid
rubbish.
penis on there.
It's an occasional flaccid penis. And then, different, like Channel 5 brought more
Crazy
sex-based
stuff.
documentaries
Yeah,
and
they did.
very shit porn. And when you can't have anything,
Yeah.
It was all
Shit
magazines.
porn's great.
It was all magazines.
I'm short, babe. I couldn't get to the magazines.
That's
I'm
true.
so short.
You just have to pick up the raggy Daily Star off the side of the road and the builder's thrown out. of his
Even then,
window.
I wasn't. Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't give the Daily Star money. But
Do you know what? I nicked a porno once. My parents went away for a sexy weekend. My parents are fucking perverts. If you're listening to this, I don't talk to you anyway.
Look what you've done.
Look what you've made. You've created a monster. Yeah, my parents are into some like kinky ass motherfucking shit. Like my dad blatantly has a foot fetish. I'm outing you completely because I can. My dad definitely has a foot fetish. My mum is definitely the dominant. We had a babysitter or something, and he'd look after us, but I don't think he was the babysitter. He was a family friend. He was very submissive.
in the
Lived
picture.
with his mother, takes my mum out to spa weekends and everything, buys my dad Christmas presents. So I don't know what that was, but he was our babysitter.
Doesn't
and we loved
sound
him.
like a
And-
a lot of
babysitter.
people do say kink's genetic, though. This is
Okay.
the thing.
And so my mum's dominant, and I was looking through the photo albums, and my mum is dressed in full latex regalia at the Etc.
Wow.
Expos. My dad with a dog collar on and a latex shirt and PVC shorts, and like these are in the fucking family albums. Like, of course,
Just on the
I was
wall.
never going to stand a chance being a normal person. And like they were definitely doing some swing. I don't know what they were doing, but my dad always bought my mum really fancy shoes, and she'd always have her nails painted. Now I know why. Anyway, I once
That was a bit of a tangent, wasn't
was
it?
a tangent.
I forgot the
Okay.
original question.
no, but I'm saying about the
Do you,
porn.
do you remember what it was?
No, because of the porn.
Tell
You're
us
from
your name.
Dorset.
Because of the porn. So I got really, really told off because me and my friend were looking for Christmas presents.
Do you need to take a deep breath?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you find the
No,
porn.
this is horrific.
No, I've done the same.
And we found the porn, but it wasn't normal porn. Okay, I cannot explain to you how fucking graphic and
can't
awful
wait.
it
I'm
was.
so excited to
It
find out
was
what kind of
like
porn it is.
the old granny's game or something. It was fucking called. It was
The what?
oh my.
oh,
there
so
was-
it's older as well.
There was
Yeah,
women
it's
pissing
hard.
into Perspex, Pyrex, fucking bowls.
You gotta do it
There
to
were men
Pyrex. It's gotta be
drinking.
Pyrex.
Yeah.
There was a woman, and she was fisting another woman, and she had a watch, and then she took the fist out, and the watch wasn't there anymore, and it was like the hardest.
So is this a
core-
video?
It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
a
video.
VHS
Yeah, it was
thing.
like a fucking video, and I was so fucking shocked that I had to watch it again. And then when we watched it again, we got caught, and then I got severely punished. My mum was like, "You shouldn't be looking in the cupboards. We borrowed that off your dad's parents anyway. It was a joke or something." And I was like,
so your third generation.
"What the fuck is going on here? It's in a locked cupboard for a reason." And then she cut the head off
Babe.
my toy monkey.
Have you ever considered you might have watched your grandparents' porn?
Oh no! It was a professional scene. It was like Kink Castle.
You do professional
quality.
scenes.
No, like this was professional.
You do professional.
Oh my god! Please, why would my dad?
You
be
watched your
watching
grandma's
that? No,
porn.
No, I didn't.
You watched your grandma's porn. That's what's happened.
So anyway, yeah, that was
I
probably.
saw a copy of Bound and Gagged once.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably one of the first things I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was ages till I saw like a video of
Yeah, yeah.
hardcore. And it
MP's
was
got
the
one you
sort
can
of-
borrow.
It was the sort of it was the sort of hardcore as well, where it was literally just a close up of the penetration.
Yeah.
And the dude I was with at the time being like, yeah, that's what guys like. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not against. I like looking at penetration.
Yeah.
But like, there are human beings attached to those bits. I quite like to see some of the rest of them.
Yeah,
Or hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the sound of stuff.
Do
so,
you? Do you know what? I
I love
watch porn.
verbal stuff.
I watch porn muted because I cannot
Really?
stand people fucking, but they're not fucking properly. They're
Yes.
like, So
I figured out how to
think
do it properly. If you want the secret,
what is it?
you put the porn on.
Yeah.
You mute it.
Yeah.
put the tennis on, and turn the sound up.
Oh, so I'm actually going for it.
Works really well.
I like really good So literally sometimes I'll search for verbal pegging.
Yeah.
Because I like.
Huh?
So pegging, you're familiar with pegging,
Yeah.
right? But a video that would be tagged like verbal pegging would be like just good chat, like good conversation during it. So like
You
talking.
got an award for this the other day.
And like
good chat.
yeah, and you know, I like genuine male pleasure noises.
I didn't even know that was a thing you could search for. I didn't know you could search for that.
I didn't know.
I knew you could search for pegging, but not
like very ASMR, like
No, but more. No, it's just that
How's it go?
more chat during it, like you know, and both of them.
Yeah.
I like that. But
like you're
then
a naughty boy, I'm gonna stick there. Like
Yeah.
the sexy talking, which is what I do a lot of in the dungeon because it just sets the scene. I don't think I just don't get off on people being quiet. People are like, you're so chatty, and I'm like, if that's up to you, then that's what you like, then that's fine. I will shut up. But for me, like, it's all about the talking through the scene. It's making me feel hornier. It's making them feel hornier.
and I want to hear the noise from them. I want to hear the pleasure. I want to hear the
reactions,
the begging. You know, and but like with all porn, you know, there's a lot of people out there who do it, and oh god, I can't stand their voice, so I can't watch their stuff.
Yeah.
Because the voice is so key, and the same with dudes as well. Sometimes they're just like, oh, I don't like your voice.
And it's just like it's like looking at people. It's like sometimes
I have the same with Scottish people.
Just all Scottish people.
I can't stand the accent. I don't know what it is.
They have more than one accent.
Yeah, you are really funny with the Scottish accent. I don't care too much.
No, I quite like a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lovely
I
Scottish
don't know why
accent
it just
that you
grates
always
on
see.
me.
There's certain accents, but it is like looking at someone's body. Like there's things about it you like, some things you don't. It's the same with audio because I will watch some videos, and as soon as they start talking or making weird noise, I'm like, no. And there's some that I'll have on a real low, and I'm like, oh, that's no, turn it, because I get so distracted. I'm much more a visual person when I'm watching porn as opposed to an audio person. But if I'm doing something to someone, then I am much more audio than I am.
Yeah, in a lot of play, I like to talk. In rope, I'm so quiet because it's like meditative almost.
Yeah. So you do the rope.
Yeah, back to
the rope. I know we've gone everywhere. So you watched a bit of porn and
started exploring in my own life. Would come up with games that I'd play with people, like if I was making out with someone in my car or other things in the car. And I'd be like, okay, put both your hands on the headrest.
Yeah.
And this will continue as long as your hands are on the headrest.
Okay.
But as soon as they try and move their hand, then I'll just stop. Or I remember like going down on someone and going, it was stroking someone and being like, okay, well, you've got till I get to 0 to come, or we're done. And these are all games that I just kind of come up with, and they just feel right to me.
Yeah.
They weren't inspired by anything or seeing anything.
you just like that control.
Yeah, very much so. Huh. And it's always funny when someone loses a thing they want and it's entirely their fault. So it's like, well, there's no one to blame but yourself.
Oh, that's awful.
No, that's fun.
No, I don't like that game.
Because he wouldn't like being told to keep his hands somewhere. So, well, I'm not going to take my hand.
It sounds like an awful game.
No, you'd just be bratting the whole
Good
time.
fun. Good fun.
I'd be watching.
Bratting.
Not
Yeah,
doing
or
shit.
like just
Yeah.
doing the
So-
alternative.
Yeah. You'd be trying to make it funny or something.
Yeah, mainly out of spite though. I think.
Yeah.
But you're the one that loses.
No.
But you would be in that case. Well, like, okay, well, you win the bratting, but you lose the hand job. So it's like, ooh.
Oh, I'm fine. At least I win something.
It's a special badge. So you've developed from that, and then
I think it was just always kind of part of my sexuality, my interests. Obviously exploring that with partners, boyfriends, whatever. I think what pushed me hardcore towards the scene, which was a much more recent thing for me, was that my marriage was not kinky. So, and I thought, going in that it was something that I could live without, or live without the kind of sex life or kink life that I felt that I wanted, but I didn't realise that I needed.
Right. Okay.
And
which is a huge thing. People don't realise that, like.
And some people aren't particularly sexual, or their kinks are quite narrow or small or whatever.
Yeah, quite tame.
Yeah, people who are, if someone's into feet but just like looking at them, you can do that in the summer. They're out everywhere, right? You don't like feet.
Nah.
Put them closer to you.
Not a fan.
Feet.
I don't mind them being around. You're allowed to have them.
Oh, thanks. Amputees only.
Just don't put them
Just
in and around
limb
my
different
face.
only.
Yeah.
That's all I'm looking for.
Just not in and around my face.
That's okay.
Yeah, I ask you for a foot rub and you're like, fuck no.
Oh, I ask people for. I love a foot rub.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it all the time. I'm like, put it out there. I'm like, oh, who wants to give me a nice hard foot rub while I read a book?
What? Then people just turn up and rub your feet.
Well, I pick the ones I want, but yeah.
Nice.
And then usually they're into feet. So they'll beg to kiss them and suck them and lick them or whatever. And the first hour of them doing it, like they absolutely have to just focus on me and rub my feet exactly how I want. If they're good at that, I might, and I like them, I might let them do more. But yeah, so depending on someone's kink.
Do more what?
Like suck them or lick them.
Oh, right.
Kiss them and put them on their face and whatever. All over the face. Both of them at once. One in the mouth.
Yeah.
I don't think I could even watch. I don't think I could even watch it.
Could you not?
I don't think so. No.
Well, tonight is your night. Could you imagine?
Put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I don't think I could see it.
But you have seen it because you had to do some filming for me where I've had my little.
Yeah, but I just point the camera and then look away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm really good at it. I can hold the camera so still without focusing at all.
Yourself, not the camera.
Huh?
Focusing the camera. Anyway.
Yeah, both.
So yes, it was in a sexually and kinkily rather unfulfilling marriage, which that was the core of a lot of then other issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
you're
as
married as
occurs,
well.
I was, yeah, as occurs regularly. And I'm a very sexual person, so it is a thing I need. And I just didn't really factor that in going in because so much else was great.
Yeah.
But then coming out of that and really like getting back into what I love, and a friend was like, "Have you heard of FetLife? Have you thought about joining that?" And for some reason, you know, initially I had a bit of stigma with it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I swear, like it's so you." And I joined it. I was like, "It's so me. It's other people like me. Oh, I'm not alone. I'm actually one of many hundreds of thousands of people.
Many thousands of perverts.
Many
There's
people.
loads of
Oh,
weirdos on FetLife.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in
of
this
them.
room as
And a
well,
lot of them are in my inbox.
and in your inbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I joined that, and that obviously people use it for different things. I think some people get confused and think it's a hookup site.
Yeah.
That delivers vagina
goods.
to your door.
Yeah.
Which is not how it
Like
works.
an Uber for
Yeah,
vaginas.
it's Uber. It's like, oh, I saw it, so therefore it's mine.
Can you imagine how popular that website would be if that was a thing?
Uber vagina.
Yeah.
Well, there are sites like that. They're for escorts and sex
Yeah.
workers.
Yeah, but one that you can just like use an app. Like right now, I could just go, oh, I really fancy.
If the app stores would let people do it, I know, like sex workers would use apps.
Yeah.
They would do that.
reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
like dial a
easy for
hoe
fun.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it dial a hoe.
That'd be really good, wouldn't it?
Except tap. You're not dialing, so swipe a hoe. I don't know.
Swipe a hoe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to think about the
You
Well,
could,
name.
do, you could do one
meeting
for
after
swingers
this.
and you could call it Swinder. Like Tinder, but for swingers, Swinder. And then
Wasn't
you just-
that a documentary on Netflix?
The Tinder swindler.
The Tinder. They should have just called it Swindler.
I don't
Okay.
think we should name it after him.
So anyway, not him.
So I found FetLife
Yeah.
because a friend recommended it. Found the scene, and for me, what I use FetLife for now and then is community. So it's essentially like kinky Facebook, right? So it's you can share your thoughts, you can share pictures, but it's massively about like groups where you can talk to other people with similar interests or learn from others, like the writings, and then events.
Okay.
It's like so actually taking it into the real world and finding out what's on.
Yeah.
They're really good for online events now as well. I do a lot of online events.
So it's kind of like a Facebooky, bloggy kind of thing,
It's
isn't
literally
it?
Facebook for kink, basically. Yeah, it's basically what it's for.
It's quite good. I remember when you first signed up to it. It was quite
It's
handy,
good, it's
wasn't
good and
it?
it's bad. So
I see. When I first signed up, I used it for all of that. I looked into events and things like that. And then when I became a pro dom, like I was like, just a lot of people want a lot of stuff for free.
Yep.
They want a professional experience, but they want it for £0.
Yep.
And I was not comfortable doing that because the equipment costs a lot. My time is money. You know, I can't be in a million places all at once, and the demands that some people were expecting as well for a free website, it just became a bit too much, and I was just like, I'm backing completely away from it because I used to enjoy it, and then it just became oversaturated with Findom again, people being entitled,
So entitled.
and it was just mad, and I just thought,
Findom's your favourite, isn't it?
oh, shut up. And it just drove me mad. So like, but you use it in a completely different way because you are a lifestyle dom, aren't you? It is part of your world.
yeah, so I describe myself as a lifestyle and semi-pro. I'm nothing, not a 1% of what you do regarding pro. However, I do a couple things,
Yeah.
and I'd like to do them more.
What's the difference then? What
So
is
lifestyle is
Dom?
like
explain it like you're explaining it to a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
An idiot.
So I was gonna
I'm far from an idiot. Just dumb it down.
Okay.
Get rid of the acronyms.
Well, let's use sex workers as an example, right? So there are people that you will have sex with because you're just, you're seeing them, you're married to them, you're hooking up, right? So people that you'll just have sex with, and then if you're a sex worker, there'd also then be people that you have,
Me,
you, and then, but then if you're a sex worker, there's people that you'll have sex with for money, right? Lifestyle and pro, it's that but for kink. Yeah. So I engage in kink experiences with people that are my friends or my partners, or like, well. I'm not going to have a play partner who's someone who's not my friend, but people I get on with.
Anybody under your umbrella?
Yeah, it's a big ass umbrella.
Gotcha.
It's just an ass. It's very big. Oh my God, someone needs to do an umbrella that's an ass. Yeah. Anyway, or a tit. Just the one, and then someone else has a different one, but it's a bit smaller.
Like your left tit when it rains.
Indeed.
Yes. Yes. My weather forecasting tits. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's the difference with lifestyle. So the majority of the kink that I do is with my partners and with my friends. And educational as well. So
do you put out
lifestyle.
the online content-y stuff?
So the content that I do, I make some bondage-based jewelry and statues and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've got earrings and necklaces that are like little, but there's loads of them about now. And to be fair, like I know some people who I think do it better than me anyway, so I'd kind of send you that way.
Yeah.
But I do figurines out of wax because you can then go through wax, and then I'll do bondage around those figurines. Male, female, different shapes and body types and sizes, and people can usually choose like the color of the rope that's going to go round and stuff, so it can kind of fit with your decor. So I do a bit of that, which is fun. And I also do audio. It's kind of audio porn, but it's essentially just like this, like talking about something that happened that's a real thing that I've done, and it's just sort of like retelling it in my more sleepy voice.
Like an ASMR storytelling based kink thing.
Like one of those obscene phone calls.
Yeah, sort of like, but yeah, I literally record them usually laying in bed. And just talking about a thing that I've done.
You should get on the phone lines. I don't know why you're not.
They don't pay for it.
Yeah, but
They don't pay much.
Domline do.
Yeah,
I'll send you their way.
Please do.
You'll do really good.
Because I love voice. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't do
Can we
do
get a free
video
subscription?
Just fucking call me.
Hello,
Get
it's
my
me
number.
again. It's me again.
All right, Jackie, what are you wearing?
Buy me
want
dinner
to
first,
fuck.
at least. So basically, it's talking about what I've done, and I do them with a slightly cucked perspective. So it's not just talking about what I've done, it's the fact that we'll get there. It's already time.
I'm taking in so much new information, and I'm trying to.
You get
And then
tired.
every now and then you say a word I know, and I'm like, oh, I know
I'm
that
lost.
word, and then I forget what you were talking about.
So I'm doing these audio recordings of what I've been up to, which
Sexy
is always
video,
filth.
audio, sorry,
And
recordings.
kinky filth, and but the perspective I'm telling it from is, and talking to the listener and making clear that the listener's never going to get to do this with me. Right. So that's kind of,
Can we do a role play?
No. Have you bought it?
I don't know what that means.
Have you prepared your role play? Are you doing it off the cuff?
What role play are we doing?
Oh.
I want to know what one of these. I want to know what one of these audio things sounds like.
Well, I need to record and upload more of them, and I need to do like my demo one that's just going to explain it. I think YouTube, I've got some audio just sort of talking so people can hear my voice at least, because I understand people don't want to pay for something before they know how someone speaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, my voice.
You can just refer them to this, can't you?
Well, now we can.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's why we've been trying to organise this for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You have got a very nice voice.
Thank
your
you.
voice is very alluring. Like mine is, and yours is
Yours
like,
is amazing.
"Hello."
So essentially, you just use this voice to tell one of your filthy stories. And...
Basically, yeah, a thing that and it's always something I've genuinely done. It's not, and I love creative writing as well, but I think I get up to so much.
I love creative
and
writing.
I've got this story, I've got this voice, so why not put the two together?
Yeah.
So
We could do a collab.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
a really good
goodness.
creative writer,
Okay, sames.
and you've got a
Pretty
slutty
good.
voice.
I do that slutty voice.
That works
There
easy,
you
doesn't
go.
it?
Yeah.
Slutty voice.
What
I
was
can
your-
do- can I do the
give me
male
your slutty-
part?
Yeah, do your slutty
Yeah, the
voice.
male part is.
I'm in a box. Help me.
I don't know. I don't know.
What would your slutty voice be like?
I can't stop crying. Please get off me.
Did you say red? Is that a please stop or is that a red?
That's a please stops. Everything's going red. Oh dear.
Oh my God, you too.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so I do predominantly lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then but I sell bondage type jewelry things.
Yeah.
Audio.
Yeah.
I do online PT. Dom-based PT. So I'm kind of a qualification junkie in my vanilla life. And one of the things that I have a qualification in is training, personal training.
Okay.
Don't
Me
look like it
too.
anymore. Yeah, I do everything.
You both got a
do a bit
personal
of
training
that.
thing, haven't you?
So it's like it's someone going to get a genuine workout, but they're going to be spoken to
Like shit.
as a dom, and as them being a sub. And some people are into that, so I
We
do
can
that
do
online.
bitches boot camp.
Yes, please. Sounds fun.
I've been ideas.
So doing in-person events like that.
You do a lot of in-person events, don't
yeah.
you, in this local area? So
Yeah.
I don't really attend a lot of local events here.
I got time.
I got, well,
You're busy.
ain't nobody got time for that. But
Did it
you
again.
do.
I'm keeping that in as well.
Stop it. But you do, don't you? You're like a big part of the scene down here. Like, you know quite a few people, and you see a completely different side of it to I do, because pro doms are not welcome generally
I don't.
in the lifestyle. So for a lot of lifestyle doms, we're frowned upon. Then we are, no, you're taking away stone. Blah.
And the way I kind of look at it is
What?
everyone's different. That's not how I feel. And I know a lot of people who don't feel like that. I think that some people have experienced some pros only popping up every now and again to promote something.
Oh, okay.
Which naturally, if someone's like running an event, they don't want to feel like their participants being sold to.
Yeah.
But
I
if
see what you
people are
mean.
like genuinely I think everyone should be part of the scene who knows how to treat others with respect.
Yeah.
I don't personally like someone saying like, "Oh, you're big in the scene," because I don't feel like that. I'm just a little old me doing my little old thing. And if people want to be part of that, awesome. If I'm not your cup of tea, go have some other tea or coffee. Like, that's totally cool with me.
That's just how I feel as well. When people are like, "Oh, you're a big name," I'm like, "I'm not. I just do my thing and I enjoy what I do and I like it, and that's about as far as it goes." I'm not ego. I can understand a lot of pro doms are ego because they get like I don't know, they go viral on a video and they're like, "Oh, look at me," and then it does get the other side of the community's back up and they're like, "Well, you're promoting unsafe practices." Blah.
Yeah, and it's just like I want to play how I want to play with people who want to play with me. I want to tie the way I like to tie,
And that's
with people that want to tie with me.
And that's a very big difference. Being a lifestyle dom, you can be very selective about what you're doing in your sessions and stuff. Whereas if you go to see a pro dom and it's in exchange for money, you generally have to cater more towards what their fetish is. But within reason, I'm not going to do everything they ask me to do. I'm not your bitch. I am the bitch. But that's a big difference as well, isn't it? Because with lifestyle, they are purely having to do what you want. Otherwise, you won't play with them. Whereas when it is in a professional setting, you do have to take in their needs once. It's a different kettle of fish. So I would say I am slightly lifestyle, because obviously with my stable, with the ones that I've collared, they basically have to do what I like and things like that, unless they've paid for a particular session. But generally when we're going to events together and stuff, they're not paying for that. Like, I could be charging them, but I don't want to, because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy just the power exchange. I don't always want, but these are people like I've selected. They're long term. I've selected them. They've gone through all of the hard work, and now for my extra time, they don't have to pay because I want to play with them and they're comfortable around Dan. They've met our families and things like that. So in respect, I do lifestyle, but not to the level that you do, because you obviously, you're poly as well, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So explain that.
Dan, do we know what poly means?
Yes.
Go on.
But here's the thing. With poly, there's so many different subcategories.
Yeah.
So I don't know what poly you are.
So
Yeah, I know that you are a poly.
I am a poly.
Oh my poly, there's a poly.
Don't you also sell used stuff online as well or something?
Yeah,
as well,
so
don't you?
I mean, yeah, I could. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't. You've been looking. Yeah, I sell like used.
I missed that thing.
Worn shoes, worn undies,
gym
socks,
Yeah.
gym stuff. Yeah, happy to sell that.
Nice.
Well, because
Where do people find all your stuff, by the way? Because I can't find you anywhere. I can't find you on like Twitter.
6. I have it, but I'm sorry. It's all bots, and I hate Musk. Insta, they banned me. They shadow banned me, and then banned me twice
Because of the boobies.
This is the thing. Like, I wasn't posting anything worse than a thin person who's just in a bikini posts, but slightly kinky.
Really?
But because she's a bigger person and her breasts are bigger.
Send them to me and I'll have a look.
Oh, do a little service. If anyone out there has massive tits and you just, want someone to check them over before posting on Instagram,
Just make sure everything's okay, yeah.
But they do.
He's so selfless like that, guys.
But
Ladies.
they do penalise bigger women. They penalise bigger women.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of bigger women in the scene have had their Instagram accounts taken because they're not the typical size 8 model in a bikini. Yeah. They just have a little bit more flesh and a little bit more curve, and they
Really?
will ban.
Yeah, because it's like it's you wearing the same thing as a thin person, covering the same amount of dirty bits.
Yeah.
But what you're wearing is obscene. And you get it even in school, in American schools, like a thin girl wearing a tank top is fine, whereas a bigger girl wearing a tank top, with more tit isn't fine, even though they're both covering the nips and a good portion of the tit. Yeah. So anyway, I curated. I had an Instagram that I loved for like 3+ years, and it was the second one. I felt like I worked really hard on it. I liked the way I laid out my wall, like the whole thing, and a feed. Yeah, and then once that one got taken down, I couldn't get access to it, and in it were years of messages between like a couple of my subs with photos and stuff, because I did, it's my own fault, but I didn't think about, I should back these up somewhere else, because Instagram's just going to delete my whole account, and I just didn't have the heart to do it. I couldn't do it again because it really upset me a lot.
You had that problem, didn't you, the last time?
Yeah, I'm on like my 7th now. It's soul destroying. You just have to start over and over and over again, and it's crazy because I see some people posting some absolutely insane fucked up shit.
Absolutely.
And then I post a picture of my cleavage and they're like, And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
I haven't even got a nip out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like Twitter, because you can post more stuff out there. But then with Twitter comes the unwanted comments. I've been quite lucky, but you do get like groups of people just being dickheads.
Quite a lot of drama on Twitter as well.
And it's also then you suffer with people stealing your shit and making fake versions of you. And obviously I'm not big enough for that, but so I technically have a Twitter, but I don't care. And then can't do Instagram again because it's been just too upsetting.
Yeah.
So FetLife is Sixtress spelled out, Sixtress. And then my website is Sixtress with the number 6 tress.co.uk.
Right.
And
that's kind of where I'm at.
Back into Polly.
But he asked.
You did ask.
Yeah, I did ask because we were talking about some of the stuff she was doing. I was like, I didn't know where to go for this stuff earlier.
FetLife that's your biggest one.
FetLife is the hub, I guess.
That's your thing you use,
because I use it for social and
that
scene
makes
as well.
sense.
And then it directs to other stuff, basically.
Yeah, cool.
If people want other bits with me, with and from me. So Polly, my marriage was mono, and I didn't like that.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of weird if you marry someone bi anyway, or now pan, I used to describe myself, that you wouldn't kind of bring up a threesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
And especially when your partner has said that they've had multiple threesomes and they like them.
Yeah.
Before that. So yeah, basically after that I was like, I really don't like mono. Found myself in another mono relationship for a while, partly because like COVID, so it was just the sensible thing.
Yeah.
But also that was what my partner wanted.
Yeah.
And because we started in COVID, it kind of just felt okay.
Yeah.
But increasingly it was just, I don't want this. Like I love him. I still love him, but like it's just not what I want.
Who I've seen?
You know this one?
Yes.
Do I know this one?
Is this not on? It's still not
Fucking
on.
hell.
Yeah.
If we have another technical difficulty, I'm gonna have a breakdown.
Okay. Well, hopefully. Right.
No.
Oh no. Oh my God, professionalism. Right, go.
Polly, stuff about being Polly.
Okay, so yeah, he came and saw me. So that's your partner that you were with in lockdown.
Yes, and so we were together for quite a while. I loved him, love him still.
And you're still friends, aren't you? Still,
really. Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
And you sent him my way, which was an experience, which I liked it. We shared.
You've seen we've shared a few of our.
I know, yeah. Yes, we have.
Yeah. But no, I love him a bit. But one of the things that was apparent was I knew that I couldn't be mono again in a relationship, because I have such varied interests. And
greedy.
Yeah, mostly just a greedy bitch. Like one cock is not enough. But also like
Yummy.
Blah, blah, blah. But also if you're pansexual, like that's a thing as well. Not for everyone, but for me personally, like I want more and difference and things. Yeah. And I care about people really easily. So but relationships becoming a thing really easily happens for me.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of consider myself solo poly in that I myself am a poly individual. I get into relationships, but currently like none of my relationships are hierarchical. So I don't have a primary partner or a nesting partner or anchor partner or any of that sort of stuff.
That's a lot of terminology.
I know, right?
This is what I mean. It's
Yeah.
it's a minefield, the whole polyamory
So we've
thing.
done the polyamory stuff, but ours
Okay.
was a closed poly.
Right.
We weren't. Yeah, because
So
Dan,
just you two with someone else? Or...
yeah,
Yeah.
Dan doesn't want to touch dicks. Dan's not into that at
I'm
all.
not really into
Why
it.
his piss is everywhere in the bathroom. Won't even touch his own.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, not a chance. But yeah, no. So when you talk about like nesting partners,
It's a very
and
clean
stuff,
bathroom.
it is a clean bathroom.
Very clean bathroom.
And if it's not, I'll get someone in
Yeah,
with
just
their
lick it
tongue.
up, you know.
Oh,
Get in there.
gosh.
You love it, really. So yeah, like so the hierarchy.
was not expecting that.
Explain what nesting partner is. Like,
Sure. So, and I will say...
We could literally do a whole podcast on just trying to figure out what the fuck
Poly.
polyamory
or maybe
is.
we just save it and we use
could.
it for. Let's
Do it
save
another
it.
time.
We use
We
the poly.
can. We can do like a poly
Yeah.
podcast.
So just let's talk about the
Not talk about
domination
it.
and stuff, and we use that for another time because that's a whole different kettle of fish.
One of us should write it down because none of us will remember that.
Oh, I'm not writing it down. I'll
I've got
lose
it on here. We've
Cool.
got it right.
Okay.
Go.
So, which go?
So you've had the partner, you were in a marriage that we weren't happy with, and then you've been with someone and you did the monogamy, and now you're poly.
Down poly.
And now
And so my partners are
Partners?
kinky.
how many partners?
Currently 2.
Okay.
Um,
Male, female.
Both male.
Okay.
Is it
both
always
cis.
male?
No.
Okay.
Hasn't been not male in far too long, in my opinion, but
Okay.
but it's what my friend describes as useless sapphic, which is 2 women can flirt with each other for years and neither think the other one's into them. I came on to a friend by saying like something along the lines of "You're so beautiful." I had my hands in her hair at the time, and we were playing with someone else, and they were the focus.
Yeah.
But I had my hands in her hair, and I whispered into her like, "You're so beautiful. I just want to make you gush like a fountain," and like
If I said that,
be like you wish. But later on, I like asked her out,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I thought you were just being nice." Like, no, I'd like to see you.
That's the old bi panic, though.
No,
That's
there's
what
the
you
spy
get.
panic and there's the useless stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm into all sorts of people, genders, presentations. You know, it's
Not fussy.
not. I mean, I am fussy, but not about that. Like it's the human at the end of the day that makes it or not. So yeah, I have 2 partners, both of whom are poly. I have had more, I have had fewer, and I also play with many other people as well.
Yeah.
So similar to Candy with having paid subs and then your stable of subs. I have scenes with lots of other people who I'm friends with.
And even though your
Okay.
lifestyle, you do have an expectation. They still have to buy you bits and pieces, don't they?
Some.
Like in the scenes, like if they want something, you're like, well, hey, hang on a minute, pal, you can contribute to this because kink is expensive.
Kink is really expensive. It varies. So similar to anyone who's been in the lifestyle for a while, kink is just like kink is like a boat in that it takes all your money.
It really does.
So because you'd be like, I don't need anything, and you see a new thing, and you're like, well, I need that, and I use it twice, and
All the time.
Yeah,
All the fucking time.
Like I must have a set of cups, like for suction cupping.
Yeah.
But I must have a set that have different shapes. I'm just gonna get one other shape. And how many times have I done cupping in the last year? Like so few. I've got fire cups. I've got
What's
suction
cupping?
cups. Cupping is that thing you see sports people do, like on their backs. It's an Asian.
It's like almost like a
oh,
glass,
the little
like a glass
squeezy
dome.
thing.
Yeah, like no. Well, they can be squeezy, or you can pump them, can't you?
Yeah,
You can get
I've got
different
both
types.
kinds,
You know
yeah.
the ones that
Yeah,
leave the
squeeze
holes
them and
on
stick
your
them on
back?
yourself, and then
Yeah.
leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it stuck to you.
Yeah.
And then they leave bruises and stuff like that. But you can do that for different scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's-
I've never done it in a
What,
scene.
you do that as a sexy thing?
Yeah.
different reasons. So for pretty much everything that I'm into, you can enjoy it from a sensual perspective and a very
Yeah.
intimate one, or it can be more humiliation, degrading, or
Okay.
you know, there's loads of different ways of looking at stuff, and I enjoy them from many different sides. But yeah, cupping could be a bruise thing, just for the bruising and the pain. It could be for the cupping and then something else.
Yeah.
Like you do it but not very tight, and then they have to do a task but not lose any of the cups. Like there's so many things you can do with
okay.
it. Like
Right,
good
I'm with you.
but yeah, so I have so much gear. Well, I have equipment. I don't actually do much gear stuff like wearing things.
Yeah.
But other than boots, someone bought me new boots the other day. Like, I just lift my boots. I'm like,
You do
"Oh,
like your boots, don't you?
Kinky boots.
kinky boots. Yeah.
Nice.
I love boots, but I love being barefoot, which I am right now. So it's this dichotomy of I
So
want
you
to wear
are-
the boots and then I want to wander around barefoot.
So you like obviously for me, the way that I look is very important when I'm doming because obviously as a pro dom, you're expected to look a certain way. Also, well, as a pro dom, there is an air of it. People come to you because you're fulfilling their fantasies.
Yeah.
And so in
Oh,
their
so you
heads,
mean
they're
not
like,
there's
and
like
it's
a standard.
It's like so gorgeous anyway. Like I've
Stop
seen you in
it.
sweats. You're fucking gorgeous.
but
Not
so
you
for
don't mean
me-
there's like a standard outfit for
no,
pro
no.
dom.
People
But like
picture there being
latex, leather, that sort of stuff. If
Yeah,
someone's requesting
okay.
a particular session, then
Yeah.
you're gonna want to wear.
I suppose if I
something
turned
towards-
up and you were in like your Teletubbies
Joggers.
onesie that you wear every night, I'd be
I
like,
do not wear that.
that's weird.
No, I don't wear my hoodie and it's got spicy chilies on it.
You're constantly flailing around in a tinky winky.
Do you imagine? That's
Thing.
actually what we're into, the Teletubbies. But yeah, like so for me, like there's sometimes that I will just wear my gym gear and stuff. So that's what you predominantly do. Yours is comfort based, isn't it? You being lifestyle and rope.
Yeah,
You like
and
to
a lot
be.
of people who are lifestyle are very high end, like outfits like you do.
Yeah.
You know, corsetry and rubber and all that sort of stuff. Just me personally, I like to be able to move around and I like to feel comfortable. And from there, I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
So you know, in the past when I was a lot slimmer, I had some corsets that were super comfy and I could do, but I wasn't also doing rope at the time.
Yeah.
I tried one time to do rope while wearing a corset and accidentally stabbed someone with one of the bones. And I was like, yeah, never again. Because it's such a sensual practice anyway that I want to be able to freely move around and
really?
explore.
Michael's here. 2 seconds. How are you going to massage the feet? You can.
Well, it's just tough shit. I have to wait. won't you?
Okay.
What were we
There you
talking
go,
about?
I don't know. We're rudely interrupted by my slave that's now sitting directly opposite me. Hello.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? We were talking about comfortable
Lifestyle,
clothing.
comfortable clothing.
Comfortable
There we go.
clothing.
We'll get
There we go.
We'll get there.
Fucking, this is the most disorganised podcast we've ever done.
I know, what kind of
know.
professionals.
And you've noticed there's only one variable.
I know it's you. Two variables. You count the tits. So yeah, like because obviously
Sixtress with their titties over there.
you do the rope.
You make
so
it sound like they're out.
They are. Nobody
they
can.
are
Nobody can
not.
say they're not. Nobody can see.
Shall I get them out?
Yeah.
Hey!
We could put that in the X-rated one on the OnlyFans.
just her lips and
That me
tits.
sitting here with them out, but no one can see them.
So
I'm just gonna sit here with a mirror.
just do it like
Oh,
that.
go on.
So yeah, let's get
Good
back into
Lord.
it. Stop
The
it.
size of them, though.
I know they're huge.
Yeah, but
Go
if
on.
you do that, they all
Oh
look
my
bigger.
goodness! You just put the mic there, like give it a mic job. Just good Lord.
Lord
mic
have
job.
mercy.
Stop it! Pack it in. Oh my God.
I can't concentrate. What are we talking about?
Hey,
My face
Right.
hurts.
So we're talking about rope. No, let's talk about rope.
let's talk about rope.
Wait, let's talk about rope, baby. We're gonna have to do a whole nother podcast now.
This
'cause
is,
crazy.
without a doubt, my least favourite kink, I think.
Rope.
The rope. Because I just see it. I can't. Who can do that for so long?
Which bit of it?
The getting tied up thing. Not the tying up. Yeah, fine. Happy days. But I can't sit there and get tied. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think I would lack the patience. For me, I like it hard and fast, but you make it a
I think it's
whole
because we
thing,
have.
don't you?
Is it because we have the
Sensual.
ADHDs?
Yeah, I think it's an ADHD based thing. Yeah.
Do you reckon?
So a lot of people who have ADHD, differentisms, and neurotypicals as well. A lot of people enjoy sensation involved in
Yeah.
rope. So if your body is constantly overstimulated by the world around you, so that's a lot of ADHD and autism people. The sensation of rope on different parts of your body, but the pressure being fairly even, can be a really soothing sensation.
Okay.
Bit like
some
a
people-
weighted blanket.
Basically, yeah. And the
Yeah.
breathing. So Rebel, for example, you know, when we put rope on, he literally will breathe really deeply to feel it tighter, and then just his whole autonomic nervous system relaxes in response to feeling that tight hug of the rope. And from there, he's in a different headspace than he gets into in any other way.
Yeah.
So a lot of people for rope, it's that sensation thing. For some people, it's the power of
Yeah.
someone else having power and control over you.
Yeah.
Some people, it's the sensation of rope moving over the skin. So a really interesting thing that happens, some people are completely like, you're having a normal conversation the whole time the rope's going on while it's on. And then as you come to untie it, that's when they drop into headspace. because it can feel like being undressed, but really slowly and sensually.
Yeah.
And that's something a lot of men maybe have never experienced. Probably a lot of women
What, undressing slowly?
also haven't, being undressed really sensually and slowly. And also, a lot of women who are straight have probably never experienced that very well either, because a lot of guys don't understand how to take your clothes off in a hot way.
Just with a knife, like normal.
Yeah, just with a knife. Obviously. That's fucking hot. It's like tying someone and then like cutting the clothes off from around them.
Yeah.
I love that. I love like saying someone like,
I know, but
like,
the
wear some
cardio
clothes you don't
afterwards running
care
from the
about.
police is a nightmare.
Oh,
isn't it?
God.
Especially with these knees.
And I said I like to tie barefoot, so to then have to run away from the police in bare feet. Oh my God.
Good God.
Oh.
So what
be
is
doing
it?
it.
What is it? Have you been tied yourself, or are you just? So you're a rigger.
I am a rigger. So
You've got a rope bunny and a rigger.
yes, so there are many terms. So essentially, rope is divided into the one tying and the person being tied.
Okay.
You can
The
call them loads of,
tie and the tire.
yeah. You can call them rope top and rope bottom. Some people like that because it's more even in terms of language.
Yeah.
But some people don't like that there's a power exchange element in the words of top and bottom.
Yeah.
Some people.
my God.
I know. Right?
Some people need to get over it.
People with opinions, how bloody dare they? Just think the one thing, everybody. Come on now. So some people like rigger as a term, which is one that I like. Some people love to be called a bunny, like a rope bunny, and some people find that a really offensive term.
What's the rope bunny? What's that one mean?
It's the being tied, the one being tied.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so there's all sorts of language around it, but essentially in any situation you've got people tying and people being tied.
Yeah.
I am the one tying.
Okay.
And there's not just one way to tie, is there? Because you
Absolutely
think,
not.
oh, it's just a bit of rope, but there's not. You get people who are like extreme, you get people who are sensual, you get people that are sadistic. Like there's a lot, isn't there? Explain all of that, because I know. Well, I don't do it. I do it at a very basic level. I tried it at a course. I sucked at it. I just don't have the patience for it. That's not my skill set. Like I'll give it a go. I do hog tie you down there sometimes, and I do bits and pieces. But for me, predominantly, I like wrapping, pallet wrapping, chains, metal, that sort of thing. The intricacy of what you're doing is so much concentration. I would.
Yeah, they look crazy when they're finished. Some of them, you're like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
Especially with somebody wriggling and arguing for like an hour, like I would be.
Right, so that's key. Is some people love the types of rope where the person is like being restrained, air quotes, against their will, and they're
CNC.
fighting it. Right. Well, maybe CNC, maybe bratty, whatever.
So close.
I don't like that.
Thought I got a thing right then.
I found myself in a scene with someone who was bratty and had not included that in the pre-negotiation, and I was just like, I am having no fun. And we made it fun. Like I had to recruit the help of a few other people to hold her down, and then everyone had a good time. But I like to play with people who are very much into the thing that's happening and not fighting the thing that's happening.
Okay.
For me personally.
Okay. You're like a willing victim.
Very much so. Willing and begging for it is my preference. Yeah.
You're that kind of killer. Gotcha.
So for me, the level of intricacy in rope makes my brain calm because it's a weird way round to look at it, but for me, having to think about 50 things and balance them all evenly, and while physically engaging my whole body, my fingers, my hands, my eye contact and breath with the person that I'm working with, because sometimes I don't want to manipulate their breath so that they're breathing with me, and making something easier or harder on themselves as a result, moving their body around while doing the rope, while thinking about what's coming next, while thinking about what I've done and is it going to work for the new idea that I've had. Like my brain is constantly going, but I find a calm in that. Yeah. So I actually find rope yoga meditation, they basically sit together for me in terms of the chill that I get from them.
Rope yoga and meditation. I think you could probably throw cross stitch in there as well.
Not for me personally, but sure.
Because it sounds like it goes with the rest of them.
Okay.
Because that's like a really meditative,
And cats.
thing to do, isn't it?
And wind chimes. Not wind chimes for me either. But yeah, this is the thing. So for me, I love learning. I love exploring with it. I love being challenged with it. I love doing things I already, I'm not challenged. Like just so much of it I enjoy. But you're right, there are so many different kinds of it. So there are people who tie with certain materials versus others. So even just that is a whole class of it.
And there's a whole thing, isn't there? Like there's a there's a thing as well. Like some people are like, you have to tie this way, and then you just tie for fun, and the people can get very antsy about it, can't they? They're like, you have to tie a particular way when really, as long as it's safe, I guess. Like,
so my personal philosophy with it doesn't sit under any major arm of rope, shall we say? So some people are really into the Eastern philosophy and the Eastern methods of rope, and may have learnt under phenomenal, internationally renowned teachers who are based more in that school of thought or region. There and all the stuff that comes along with that. There are people who are more Western in shibari, but Western. There are people who tie Western rope, which is a whole other thing.
oh, okay.
And everything and every bloody thing in between.
See, I find it so confusing because it's another subsection, and it's something that's become so popular, isn't it, recently? And it's confusing for me. I'm like, where am I starting? What am I doing? Like, am I doing this right? Like, for me,
it's massively confusing.
Like, how did you even get into it?
I fell into a whole hole looking at it on FetLife earlier on. After reading your thing, I was like, I didn't realise how much there is involved.
Yeah, so much.
Mental.
And I describe it like I scratched the surface. So I've been tying for just over 5 years.
Yeah. But how did you get into it?
So the interesting thing there, personally, again, it's a part of me that I was always playing around the edges of, but not knowing what it was I was trying to fulfill. So I remember making like friendship bracelets as a kid, and then figuring out new patterns that you can do. It's the same part of the brain that's involved in rope.
So I was shit at that as well.
Like,
I said cross stitch. I wasn't a million miles off, was I?
Whereas I loved sitting with a mate, coming up with figuring out new bits of a friendship bracelet while you're just out in the park for the day or doing something else. I loved that. I'd always loved, like, with my boots and my trainers, like
Camera. Has it done it again?
I tried someone.
Yeah.
Didn't discuss aftercare beforehand because I didn't know at the time, because I was very, very new. And they started nuzzling at me while they were tied. Yeah. And then as I untied them, and they basically just like hugged onto me. You know, like when a little kid like grabs your leg, and like, they basically did that and wouldn't stop. And I felt kind of like I didn't want to be impolite, or like I felt like I couldn't articulate my needs and not wants in the moment. Okay. To say, can you stop that, please?
Was it just like
the way
grabbed
that
onto you?
They like grabbed onto like me, and then my arm, and then my leg, and were like nuzzling at me like an animal. And I was not. I didn't want that. I wasn't okay with that, and we hadn't talked about it before. That's
so weird.
Yeah, and I felt like
when they're in subspace, they're sort of
but the thing is,
still boundaries,
exactly. And if it was someone who I had like someone I regularly tied with or felt that way about, then it would have been lovely. In fact, I'm very touchy-feely after rope with people generally.
Okay.
If I like the person that way.
Yeah.
And like I say, I was a lot newer at it, and I hadn't developed my own boundaries. I very much felt like as a rigger, and often I think people treat DOMs this way as well, of like, well, you just need to give me the thing I want. So, you know, I want to be tied, so you must tie me, or I want to be I want to be DOM, so you should DOM me. And
makes sense.
I'm gonna do this next time we have sex. I'm just gonna hold on to you. Be like,
you do that anyway.
Me. Oh yeah, probably.
But
please never leave me. That's what you do.
Yeah, so basically we hadn't talked about aftercare beforehand.
It's a bit cringe. It's a bit like intrusive.
And they're not someone that I was into like that. And that's just why it felt like that. But, you know, it's on me that I didn't talk about it beforehand, and had someone said, I need to cuddle for an hour after rope, even if the rope's 5 minutes long. Yeah. That's them knowing themselves, that's good, and they're telling the other person. The other person can then say, I totally understand, but that's not for me. And then that's a healthy adult conversation. Like, we're all having a good time, we're all having consensual kink, you know? Yeah. And there's a difference between that and like, but someone not telling you the thing they need, and then you find out at the time.
And then you just feel under pressure, don't you?
Absolutely.
You're just like...
Well, you just feel weirded out as well. You have a grown man clamped to your leg.
Well, that's a massive assumption as to who it was that I was tying. But yeah, the point of...
Was it a grown man?
It was not a grown man. So I tie all different kinds of people, obviously 18 plus. Yeah. But I tie all different kinds of people. And most of the time it would initiate from someone approaching me, because I don't like to approach people, because I don't want people to feel pressured to tie with me. So usually the only time I will is if it's so high school, but like if I've seen someone making eyes at me for quite a while, and when I say quite a while, I usually mean like a number of weeks, having been at a regular event, or had someone else come tell me, oh my, it's so fucking high school.
So like, not across the
my
veg
friend
aisle.
would really like to tie with you, but they're really shy.
Not across the veg aisle in Tesco's then?
No. Instantly just jump across the aisle and start
mind if I tie you up?
Exactly. Because I'm mindful of as like I say, I don't see myself as any sort of position.
Yeah.
But if other people do, that matters because of how they perceive you.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone thinking or experiencing that being used to alter the power.
Yeah.
In any way we don't both consent to.
Yeah,
Equally, you know, our local scene has a big age range, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so inclusive. But it means that you get people in their early 20s being like, oh, can you tie with me? And potentially, yeah. But I'm so hyper conscious of the age difference in those settings and not wanting to be people to feel or be manipulated in any ways that we're not all agreeing to.
Yeah.
And ideally, the external perception to be the same, but you can't control what other people
Which
think
is
of
probably
you.
different because when I'm pro-doming, so we know where we lay. Like, they're paying for this service, so they're not being manipulated. They've come to me.
Yeah.
Like, I will never search out for a client. I will never. It's very, very rare that I will ever approach someone else. It's for like a filming or I see something that I like of someone and I'm like, this would be beneficial to us both. I would quite enjoy this scene. I would like this. Would you like to film? But generally, as a whole, I would never approach someone, so I know where I stand from the get-go because they're like, I like this, AZ blah blah blah, and it doesn't matter the age because obviously the age of consent, obviously, but for me, I know from the get-go that I'm not going to be able to manipulate them and stuff like that really because they've come with a set of things that they want to cover, they want to do. Absolutely. And then we'll negotiate about it. But I suppose when it is just a lifestyle or you're just doing it because you want to do it, then it's different, isn't it? That's a completely
And we'll talk about what now we'll talk about what are they looking for, what do they want. Sometimes people just want to experience a certain pattern that they've seen in a book, which sometimes is fun for me, especially if it's something I've not tried before and I want to work on myself. But usually I enjoy tying with someone for the experience with them and the connection and all that sort of stuff, and the rope is a tool for that. That's also an art in and of itself. So that's kind of where I am with it, but people, like I say, people might see it differently, but that's kind of what I try to live by. And especially if someone's younger or maybe would be considered like they'd have less power in a scenario, then I try to put in more steps along the way to make sure that they're really happy and really wanting to do a thing.
How much rope would you need to tie Daniel?
Depends how and where and what and why.
How would you tie Daniel?
What do you mean, how much rope?
I think
what question is that?
I think I wouldn't tie Daniel because Daniel doesn't want to be tied.
What if I want him to be tied?
I think I wouldn't tie Daniel because Daniel doesn't want to be tied.
We don't play that game on here. It's okay. We don't worry about consensual.
Disclaimer.
I've got a ring on it. It's fine. That's our relationship. So that's fine.
I love tying different people. Who's cracking?
It's
different people, different bodies, different sizes. Someone I've enjoyed tying is an absolute waif of a human being. With massive amounts of hair. So that was phenomenal playing with that, and they wanted kind of a.
Well, because you tie the hair and all sorts.
Can tie the hair as well, yeah. And then an X65. I've tied a beard. We tied a moustache.
Oh really?
Yeah. So hair rope's so fun. So that I don't teach hair rope. Like there's a particular really simple method of hair rope that is so easy. So I don't even consider it like a workshop. I'll just happily show it to anyone. The cool thing about it is the most types of hair can be tied if you're using something thin enough or coarse enough, depending on the type of hair. And so I had this theory that really short hair could be tied with floss. And then we tried the theory on someone's mustache and it worked.
Oh my goodness.
And it was really, really cool.
You could do it on pubes as well because it's quite
you
coarse
could do
hair,
it on pubes, absolutely.
And you could like do some like
You
ball
puppetry.
torture. Yeah, you could do some puppetry with it.
No,
I've got
absolutely.
some shoelaces. Do you want to give it a go?
No,
not your bag.
no, I'm busy that day.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, he's very much into kink.
I'm so into it.
He is. Every time I'm like, would you try this? He's like,
No, don't know anyone would.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
not
I
really
think
kinks
if you
that you
came to
try.
me with the right thing, maybe I would.
What is the right thing?
I don't. Fuck, do I know?
See, what's so fascinating to me is it's not even that you're not into kink, because a lot of people are into it, but they're fascinated by. But you don't even seem you don't seem bothered.
Just not.
Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it.
I'm not into it.
When it's such a big part of our life,
Absolutely.
my life,
But
and then
yeah,
your
I
house,
see it and I hear
your
it.
work.
It's in my face and around me all day, every day. And even when MP's not about and we're talking about work or kink, I'll be researching something myself. Like, having you here, for instance, I'll spend an hour or two going through your stuff and seeing what you're into.
For no other reasons and no other time.
Literally, for no other reason would I be looking at rope play.
Do you know what? He doesn't do that.
No,
he doesn't do that in his spare time. He's not a man that does...
Does what, sorry?
You don't look at the internet porn and...
No, never, no.
He's never done... He doesn't do
that.
He
doesn't touch any dicks, including his own.
No.
No, I don't need to.
Doesn't. I don't
have a dog and bark yourself.
Yeah, this is the kind of, that's what he's like. So when we talk about
absolutely
stuff
not.
like this...
I don't do that. I haven't got time. I don't have time to sit there and play with myself.
He's too busy making the sandwiches.
Injuring myself.
He is. He's always injured in a state of injury. Maybe that's his kink. We can get him into some plaster fetish or something.
It's because I just won't grow up. That's why I injure myself.
Yeah. That's why I meant to have a shorter lifespan.
Is that your kink? Your Peter Pan kink? You'll never grow up. We could...
No, I mean, I'm going to, because...
Your body is fake.
Tomorrow's the day I grow up.
Today is the day.
Because people have been doing this for a while. I know we're going to get older.
Yeah.
My brain's like, nah, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because the older I get, the younger I feel, which is weird. Like the older I get, my body is obviously failing me sometimes.
In tatters.
Very same.
Absolutely tatters.
Falling apart.
But my brain doesn't feel like, I don't feel like, I look in the mirror and it doesn't correlate with how I'm like, what? How do I stop this? Stop.
Facetune.
The fucking thing. Facetune. Fuck's sake.
Facetune is how you stop
Let it breathe again. That is it. Cool. So we've covered so much on rope and that, but we are gonna get you back to do more about poly and more about what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do one episode on each subject, really.
Yeah, like you're very knowledgeable in things that I know nothing about, so I like hearing it. You can educate me. I'll try. We'll do a skill swap.
I love that. I mean, you guys are just so fun to chat to. So,
I could teach you. I don't think I can teach you anything.
I wondered where that sentence was going to go.
What could you teach her? Are you good at cooking?
I am.
Oh.
I don't know, really.
I do like cooking, actually, if you guys ever want to,
We could do a bake-off.
We could have like a little menage a trois. What's it called?
I don't like the baking, because it's like, baking is too rigid. I like doing what the fuck I want to do.
The same as him. He hates baking. You burn everything you bake.
I'll start by following the ingredients and I'll be like, I'm going to follow I can't.
I don't
like do as you're told.
No, basically, yeah.
I can't do that. I can't do it. If it's got to go in the oven for more than, 8 minutes, I'm not. Don't just count me out.
Instant gratification.
Very much. He's very much a man. He's like the men in our inbox talking about men in our inbox.
Oh, open your inbox.
Time for...
Open your inbox.
They say it.
I haven't got the fucking thing. Look,
do the
thing.
Got
a little like
there's
sound
nothing.
Do you have to go, open your inbox.
Open your inbox.
There you go.
Deep voice.
That's all you get.
Go on then, you can open
I do need
yours.
a thing though. If somebody wants to make me an MP3 of Open Your Inbox, and send it over, because I essentially can't be bothered.
Would you want to record some alts for people to?
I need some sound bites. So
we could get you to do them, couldn't we? With your sense.
It's time to open your inbox.
Oh.
I need scarier.
Open your inbox.
Open your inbox, bitch.
What was that?
I'm very breathy.
I was just aggressive.
Yeah, you said you wanted it scary. Aggression.
I don't know if I can do scary for this.
Do you reckon?
Oh.
All right,
have you got some open in your inboxes? In your inbox?
In my inbox. I mean,
what am I getting for you? Am I getting ha-ha or am I getting gross?
I rarely get ha-ha, to be honest.
Do you not?
No.
I would accept gross if you don't have ha-ha.
I mean...
For those of you watching right now, this is a favourite part of my podcast, our podcast.
I've been away for a week, so I've been off most stuff for ages, which means...
Well, get back on it then, girl.
I'm on it! I have a lot of people asking if I can do a Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
And the reason for that is I posted a picture from a still of a video of me doing a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And I would have thought if you see someone holding a Rubik's Cube as an adult that you'd assume that they could do it.
True.
But apparently a lot of people were like, can you do a Rubik's Cube? I'm like, yes, I can.
No, I just use it as a prop.
As a prop.
Video, which would be pretty weird.
Enhance my tits.
It's like...
I'm not sure they need enhancing.
my inbox this week that made me laugh was, I need a face fart. That was it. No, nothing.
Not even a hello?
Hey, no, it was, I need a face fart.
Not even a hello, I'm Egyptian or something like that.
So,
oh yeah, that was funny.
I had that one the other day. Hello, I am Arab.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had another one that says, hello, I'm British, white. Okay.
Congrats.
I wish you would peg me. No chat, nothing. Just I wish you would peg me. I often get a lot of do you peg your subs? And I'm like, yeah. Like, will you peg me? I'm like, do I know you? Like, have I met you? Have we had a
come over. We'll go in 30 seconds.
What other things? Do you accept water sports?
To accept them?
As payment? Like, no, we don't do American Express, but water sports, yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you may piss in my mouth as payment. Thank you very much.
I had a great one the other day. We're like, are you in Bucharest now?
Are you in Bucharest?
Are you in Bucharest now? Was the message.
Right now.
I've never been in Bucharest. I'm considering a trip to Romania, but I'm not there and I haven't been there. But are you in
Should have
Bucharest
just said yes.
now?
I want to know what happens to the rest of that story.
Every now and again, I will ask the questions, but I don't lie, so I wouldn't have said yes.
I would have said, yes, meet me here. And then found a place on Google Maps and got them to come.
Yeah, I'd have booked him a table and everything, just not turned up.
This one's fun. Hello, milady. Shy cross-dresser from Genevieve, Switzerland. How you feel nice weekend? I don't know where that went.
Nice weekend.
How you feel nice weekend? No commas, no nothing. Just, hello, milady.
Just how you feel.
How you feel? I feel very good. Goddess, you are a rich
That's
woman.
better than I need a face fart, I suppose.
Yeah.
Eh?
Goddess, you are a rich woman. My dream one day, your solve boy, but I am not rich person, so I cannot be your solve boy.
Huh?
He spelled
solve boy.
Instead of slave, he spelled solve.
Oh,
So I am not. And he
like
said,
solve a Rubik's
It's
cube.
like they're typing with one hand for some reason.
And he said person instead of person. He put person.
Oh, I don't care for spelling mistakes from a foreign to an English. Just yeah.
Well,
Do you know what I keep getting all the time at the moment? Are these fucking OnlyFans manager pages like, hey, do you want to make some content and we can do this? Well, you're allowed up to 3 OnlyFans pages. Why don't we have all of your content and we give you only 20% of what we earn?
of the shit that you get from OnlyFans anyway. Yeah,
And it's like,
no.
Yeah, don't OnlyFans take 20% as well?
Exactly.
Or is it 30?
So you're getting 20% with of 80 anyway. Yeah.
I've got this one. Hi.
That's not a good number.
It's not a great number.
I've got this one. Hi. What's your fart smell lately?
I get a lot of like, can I dom you? You know, can I tie you up? I want to tie you up. No.
Okay.
I get, which obviously the answer is no.
These inboxes never paint men in a great light, do they?
Never.
No. Occasionally it's just like a random compliment, which is, you know.
But I suppose
quite
it is a
nice.
very small subsection of man, so I suppose I don't really give a shit.
I get, you are very feminine. I consider you a goddess of sexuality. Will you let me lick your ass? My dick, and then wait for it. My dick is ready to grind between your tits. Splash, splash emoji.
It's not going to grind for long.
Hi, save me. Send me a photo of your mature asshole. Yes, my mature asshole.
Got to be mature.
What is this thing? I'm not that old. I'm 30 fucking
Wow.
7. Leave my mature asshole alone.
I'll tell you, that's the thing. If you ever want to like have no chance with the person you're messaging, call a woman in their 30s or early 40s mature. Oh, I love mature women. Like, oh my god,
37, fuck off. I've got this
off,
one.
bro.
Baby, I only have the opportunity to write on Instagram. Oh, I would love to lick and fuck you both bitches. What?
This
It's not 2 bitches, it's just me. Just one bitch.
This was a
and your
hilarious one
personalities.
from I found this really funny because it's like, oh, you've done no reading. Hey, okay, this is from a dom. I came across your profile and thought I'd get in touch as I'm a dom looking for a new playmate. And then details about them. I'm based in Brighton. I'm 45. I am 6 foot. I am 7 to 8 inches hung. Nice cock. In good shape. Muscular body. Very like.
But your profile states that you are just a dom, like full dom.
I'm
Sounds
not
like
looking...
he's describing a racing horse.
And then, but then it's I'm respectful, gentlemanly, discreet, and it's like, well, if you're any of those things, you would have. If you're respectful, you wouldn't be messaging me about being a dom because I wouldn't want that message. And it's also like, just fucking copy paste messages.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you an obscene message later.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So be excited.
is this the kind of arousal technique that he uses with you?
He does.
Essentially,
Be
yeah.
excited.
Be excited. I'm excited.
You're excited.
Waiting
You're
with
excited now.
bated
To be fair, that's something
breath.
I want to get more into is hypno. It's like you're excited.
Hypno's a big thing.
You're excited now.
You say it's a big thing about
It is
everything's
a
not a
big
big
thing.
thing.
It is a big
It
thing,
is
but
a
you're not
big
allowed to
thing.
call it hypno. You're not allowed to say hypno
really?
anymore,
Why?
are you?
With what?
You're
When?
not allowed to do hypno.
Who
You're not
says?
allowed to
Hello,
sell.
you in Bucharest? Sorry.
Who
Stop
says you can't?
hypnotising me.
Who says you can't do hypno?
The video sites,
Oh,
they will
videos.
not let you put
Or
the
like the
word
Pornhub
and things like that. You're
OnlyFans.
not allowed hypnotherapy anymore or
In case-
brainwashing,
Because it looks like, again, lack of consent.
like lack of consent, but it's not, because these people are going to these porn sites to predominantly search for that kink category. So you have to put something like mind control, or I'm turning your mind to mush. You're becoming weak and sleepy. I will pull a rabbit out of my hat. Ooh. Like that sort of stuff. You have to do that.
Is it a male dom? Is it?
I didn't specify it was a male dom.
You said pull a rabbit out of a
yeah,
hat.
could be a female magician dom. You don't see many women wearing top hats and waistcoats, though. Maybe we should change that.
sorry.
I'm going to be a top hat wearing waistcoat motherfucker. I'm going to play the male doms in their own game. Yeah.
A bit like those two ladies on the internet.
What ones?
Very recently in the news. That I'm not sure which way around it goes. I'm going to say it wrong and people are going to get offended. So strap in, ladies and perverts.
Yeah.
But there's these people, these two young ladies on the internet. I think they started off as ladies. No. But they've started selling themselves as
trans women.
Trans women to sell the videos and stuff. Because
so there's two young girls, and they figured out that the trans
they're cis.
Yeah, they're cis females, and
what the fuck does that mean?
So they're women who are
biological women.
in the body
essentially,
of women.
these two chicks have put fake dicks in their pants and started posting stuff of themselves on OnlyFans, pretending that they are dudes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like if people know they're pretending, right?
But it's playing.
I don't know.
At the own game, because predominantly, you can't. People are getting really outrageous and offended and stuff. But then on the other hand, you could say, well, women could get offended that men wanting to transition into women, you're taking our identity, things like that, and it just causes massive things. If everyone can just do stuff in a nice
massive thing.
If people could just be themselves in a lovely safe space and not
anyway,
make it into
the point of the thing was
if they're selling faux trans porn, but they're being clear that they're not trans.
Yeah, they are.
If people are misleading people, obviously I don't care. Like, that's everyone.
I don't know. But the funniest thing was the top comment was from somebody that said, "My gender is not your costume."
Well, yeah, and then this is. I can see people getting frustrated if they're taking money from genuine trans creators.
Oh God, it was funny.
But then are they taking money from women? That's, do you know what I mean? It's like women's sports. It's a huge.
It's like the circle. It's like an ever-evolving circle of people robbing shit off each other.
Yep.
It's mental.
Just everyone be honest about where we're at, and then let people choose.
I get loads of men stealing my identity every fucking day. So what's the difference?
Yeah, I find it much easier to just stop giving a fuck about what other people do.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Like even in this room, that's what we've been doing. Yeah.
I know. He does
pretty
it all
much.
the time.
No fucks.
No,
fucks.
I don't care what. No offense, I don't care what you do in your free time. I don't care what
Michael under the table is doing under his free
Michael
time.
under the table does in his own free time. I couldn't care less. I don't know why people do have an opinion.
They
It's
just
weird.
do, don't they? They're like arseholes. Everyone's got one. I don't want to see them.
A mature one.
A mature. In my case, I've got a mature arsehole. Has he
Yeah.
know? Has he seen my mature arsehole?
I mean,
Probably.
some
clips.
people have.
I don't know. He didn't seem like the paying type. So
No, there's always that.
there's
Oh, really?
yeah.
There's a
and I
nature
don't-
to the message that's like, oh, one-handed, and in 2 minutes, you're not going to give a shit anymore.
Missing out half the keyboard.
Yeah, that's what it
Sometimes
is.
I wonder if they type with the dick. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
Do you reckon?
a mess.
There'd just be
There's never any
lots of
comments. It's
spaces
never
though, wouldn't it?
well thought out. And the ones that are really well thought out are like 10 paragraphs long, and you're like, I don't fucking want
Yeah,
that.
you've gone too far the other way, sir.
You talked about it before. There's almost any dominant will have a way of approaching them. They'll say how they like to be approached. Just do that.
I like precise. I like clear. I like information about your kinks. I
Yes.
like the time that you want, the dates that you can roughly do, what you're offering, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you're white, black, fat, thin, in between, trans. I do not give a fucking shit.
Midgets, remember? You can
I'll
take
do the
midgets, yeah.
midgets and I'll do it all. But if you approach me the wrong way, then your chance of seeing me is fucking zero. If you're waffling on, or if you're not giving me enough, then I'm going to open it and be like,
You sound difficult to please.
Details but succinct. Like there's a way. Be detailed but be
hello,
succinct.
how are you? I've seen you on the internet. I would like to book a session. Can I just inquire? Is this okay? Do it within 3 emails. Don't take the piss. If I like you, you're going to get my number. We can extend and we can chat more. If I don't like you, we ain't going nowhere. Like, even though I'm a pro dom, I'm not just going to go and see anyone. Like,
No,
I'm
of
not going to,
course
I can be picky. So, and I only want to do stuff that I actually find fun. If it's not within my boundaries, ethics, or anything that I like, then there's no amount of money that someone can offer me to do something, because I won't do it.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm a dom, and two, I'm a human being. So,
Sounds like a lot of information there.
have you got a Reddit question?
Yes, I do have a Reddit question.
I love that Reddit.
And then then I'm cutting this short because I've had enough of both of your voices.
It's done.
Fucking hell, every time I'm like, we need to wrap it up, and then we talk for 20 minutes more.
A new Reddit board. Am I the mature asshole?
Okay, so
Reddit
question.
Am I the mature asshole?
I've got a Reddit question for you. It's not a Reddit question actually.
Okay.
It's just a question.
Go on, then.
It's just a general question for
Okay.
you, really. What do you get from me that you don't get from others?
Big fat cock. Big cock. What do I get from you?
Yeah.
What do I get? Oh God, bloody hell! That's not really a Reddit question, is it?
It's not a Reddit question. I just told you it was from me.
Oh, what do I get?
Yeah.
Support. That's a huge thing. You're very supportive. You allow me to have space with other people, which a lot of guys wouldn't. I remember my ex always said this, and he said, "You will never find someone that loves you the way that you are." And that has stuck with me for such a long time because I've always been different. I wasn't fully monogamous. I wanted to explore my bi side, which you have let me do when we've had girl partners and stuff like that. It's only ever women that I'm interested in that perspective because, you know,
irritating ones normally.
But you allow me a safe space to explore my sexuality. You love me for me, and a lot of people probably wouldn't because I'm not conventional. I'm not your standard submissive girl.
And neither of us are really conventional, are we?
You know, I've got a harem of slaves. You muck in, you want to get involved with them. It's not like completely separate. You're more than willing to get involved, to meet the people in my lifestyle, to show an active interest sometimes.
From a distance.
Yeah. And, you know, and it's nice that I can come home and I can unload on you the stories and the things that I've been up to.
You carried on with that sentence.
And to unload a big shit on your face, a metaphorical shit on your chest. But it's just really nice that you are that kind of man that is strong enough and confident enough in our relationship and yourself that you are happy for me to go and explore things within our couple boundary. Like, obviously there's limits and there's boundaries for us. Like, I don't go and sleep with other men. I don't do anything like that. But I like the fact that you give me that space that I can do this because I don't think it would work. I think, like Sixtress said about, she knew there was more to it. She was in a marriage that she wasn't happy. She wasn't getting to explore. And I love the fact that I can do all this with you and without you. Yeah. And you're still there. You're still caring. And the fact that this guy told me that no one was going to love me for me because of what I'm into and tried to shame me, whereas you've never kink shamed. I mean, you do kink shame a lot on this podcast, but for me,
like I said, I'm allowed to at the minute. I can't get cancelled.
If I ever came to you with a weird kink or said, "Oh, my friend wants to try this and that," will you watch us? Will you do that? You'd be like, "Yeah, all right, I'll give it a go once. If I don't like it, fuck that." But like, you'll always be. I mean, like, Michael sat down on the floor in front of you, and I have very intimate sessions with Michael. You know, I've had his cock in my hand. I've put stuff in his cock, and I've done all sorts of stuff. And the fact that
the sounding things,
and the fact that you don't judge me for that, and you're not like, ugh, like you're not disgusted by it.
I am disgusted by it.
But, do you know what I mean? It's the fact that you are my partner, and if I've had a really shit day, you'll take all of that and you'll pour me a bath and you'll look after me and you'll give me the aftercare that I need. You don't just think, oh, that, I mean, as funny as you are and stuff, and people see that side of you, people don't see that delicate, gentle side of you where you are. Like, I'll come in and I've done 7 sessions in a row and I'll just be like,
yeah, we don't talk about that though.
And
I'm just funny and handsome.
And you do, and you, like, you know, you'll sit me down and you'll be like, you okay? You'll make me a cup of tea. You'll light the candles. You'll set at the bath. You cook me dinner every single night because I'm shit at it. You do all the things that I'm shit at, and you, I don't know, you just.
Yeah, I think we probably complement each other quite well. I think that's probably why it works.
Yeah.
So, like, I never feel like I have to work at it.
No.
Do you?
But no, I don't.
I just sort of bumble along being me, really.
Yeah, and you is enough.
Yeah, you're enough as well.
Oh, it's a bit soppy now.
For now.
I love you guys.
But essentially, that is us. That's enough from us, isn't it?
That is enough.
I'm Dan Vandal, and that is MP.
And that is Sixtress off camera, and you can't see us. Say bye-bye.
Tell us where to get you again. On FetLife.
FetLife, SIXTRESS, or sixtress.co.uk, the number 6TRESS.co.uk.
Are you gonna make a comeback to Twitter or Instagram or something?
Highly unlikely.
But we're
That's
the
a
cat trying to break in.
Dinner time for the cat.
We're gonna probably get you on in a couple of episodes time because I want to explore the poly and there's so much more.
Are we going to video that bit?
I mean, we could for educational purposes.
Education.
This cat is breaking this door down.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, well, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Oh, thank God for that. Turn this bitch off.
Oh my goodness. That wasn't really a Reddit question for the both of us. You naughty boy. You sprung that on me, didn't you?